What is up, fishing addicts? On today's video, we will be sharing some hacks. Um, it was supposed to be Tackle Tuesday, but for the past couple of weeks, I was posting fishing videos. I slipped a little bit. I do have a lot of fishing videos to edit, and recently a question was brought up to my attention, so I told the guy I was gonna make a video about it. I told him what I do, and he said it was very helpful. And I've been doing it for about a little bit over a year. Another angler told me about this trick after I complained how sore my arm was, and my arm was hurting, my shoulder. So the hack is how to make a cheap combo perform like a high-end combo. It's pretty easy. You don't have to change any of the bearings or anything. This is Revo X, bottom of the barrel from the Revo lines. I bought this one for either $79.99 or $89.99 off of Amazon. I believe this is the 7:3:1 ratio, and I also have one that's 6:4:1 ratio. One of them was $79, the other one was $89. So we'll call it a $90 reel. This one, the blank, I would say either it's $35 or $50, around there. Let's say we're gonna say it's $60. It's a glass rod, so somebody actually made it for me. I do like it. Lacks sensitivity. Any glass rod, low-end glass rods, will lack sensitivity. So when I was using jigs and other stuff like single hook stuff, casting Senkos and whatnot, I had a hard time getting any distance out of it without backlashing. So I was giving the trick. All you have to do in order for this rod and reel to perform like a $500 combo, it might be a little bit over. No, I think it's $500. Yeah, 500, close to $600 combo. This is Abu Garcia LAF, right? LAF? Yes, LAF. This is the Revo LAF. This is the St. Croix Avid X rod. Amazing combo. I use this on my Spring Lake tournament almost all day, and the next on practice, and next day I didn't even have a little flinch on my shoulder, or my forearms did not feel like I was casting for 11 and a half hours. So amazing combo. Expensive, which I get the same results from this one, because I've been using this rod and reel for a very long time, especially when I wade the rivers. And with glass rod, you miss a lot of fish. Let me rephrase it. You miss a lot of bites because you don't have the sensitivity. Well, with braid to fluoro leader, you cure all that. Without making a power cast, you can just flick just with the flick, you get the almost same distance as your power casting with fluoro. And because the rod is this rod is medium, more on the medium side than heavy. It's just medium, it's above medium, let's say. And with the braid, I can feel all the small bites, all the small things. And since I have very thin braid, 15-pound braid, it's amazing. I never broke off the braid. I use 10-pound Seaguar as a 10-pound Brazex Seaguar fluoro. I do not put more than 3 feet. If you put more, the longer your leader is, you take away that sensitivity. So I try to keep it less than 3 feet for the most part, or right around I'll say 20 inches to 2 feet. That's where I cut it off. So with this setup, what the advantage is, you don't have to always power cast to get some distance. You can just flip your wrist and done, and it just shoots it out. Backlashes are reduced to almost none unless it's windy. When it's a strong wind, when you try to get some distance out of it, yes, you will get some backlash. But if you set your brakes correct, and of course, if you're good with the bait caster, you don't have to be super good, but if you have just the basic knowledge, it's pretty hard to get backlashes with abus. They're pretty user friendly, and the smaller the diameter of your line is, the easier it is to cast the lure. Now, I don't use anything heavy with this setup. Anything over ½ ounce, it's a no-go. And I usually use Ned rigs. What I do is I cast these small little baby cross or baby or some kind of creatures, 1/4 ounce swim baits, 8-ounce swim baits. Swim jigs and whatnot for smallmouth. And the sensitivity, it is amazing. With the braid, when I cast it, I'm always holding the rod, and my hand, my thumb, it's on the braid. So always when I'm reeling or whatever, any small bite, I can feel it. I feel it on my tongue. There's a little bit of thing, and I know there is a fish, and I set the hook. And the other big advantage of this is using braid to fluoro leader is you don't have to do the Mike Anelli hook sets. You know what I'm talking about, where you set the hook and you're almost gonna fall from the boat. Even though fluoro has less stretch than mono, it still has a stretch. You can 10 feet of fluoro, you can stretch at least ½ a feet. On a mono, 10 feet of mono, you can stretch it probably 1 to 2 feet, depending on the brand you're using. And if you're using like a fluoro-coated line, like P-line and stuff, you're just wasting money. Simple. I don't want to get into too much to it, but imagine you have a product that's high stretch, and you coated it with less stretch of a product. At the end, it eventually damages or messes up the other part of it with less stretch, and your line. That's why a lot of people break off with those lines. I'm not just saying it's P-line, it's pretty much all of them. If you think about it, it makes sense. I'm sure they have their applications, but to me, it's just waste of money. So what I do is, I'm not that brand specific. I use Daiwa J-Braid H-Strand because it's absolutely smooth. And I have tried other brands like Sunline, even the higher end, the $33 one for a spool. I'm extremely disappointed it's not as smooth as Daiwa. So if you're looking to switch to a braid, I strongly recommend Daiwa J-Braid. And like I said, I don't want to make the video over 10 minutes, but it's a small little hack that I learned that I was killing myself trying to get any distance out of it. I was using 15 to 17 pound fluoro always, and using crankbaits and whatnot, and casting it, trying to get some distance out of it. I always had to whip it out, and after a while, it just hurts your shoulder. And especially if you start getting my age and older, and if you have like dislocated shoulders and dislocated joints, it really messes you up at the end of the day, you know. And this little trick helped me out, reduce my recovery, and sometimes I don't even have any shoulder issues or anything after fishing a tournament or even a practice and a tournament. Just by made that little switch helped me out a lot. And I also have seen a video where Tactical Bassing had the same almost same video as me. But I fish clear. If you think that braid is going to interfere with your bites in a crystal clear water, that's absolutely not true. I was fishing Lake Delavan in Wisconsin, which most of you guys might know. It's crystal clear waters. I didn't have any issues. On the drop shot, actually, I used a little bit longer leader, but I also had a graphite rod. So in that case, I could have. It was a little bit gain on the graphite side because it's sensitive, and when you put the slack out, you can feel the bites. Even though I had I would say maybe like 6-7 feet 6 feet leader to the hook from the braid, and I was using I believe it was tied on to my frog rod. Probably was a 50 or 45 pound braid, and it was old braid, so that's why I put a little bit of longer leader. But again, I was using Veritas, I believe. No, Veritas, whatever. One of those $79.99 rods from Abu Garcia, and which is like I said, $80 rod. Again, I can feel all the bites because of the braid. It was really sensitive, and it makes a huge difference, especially if you're new to fishing. It will get you that extra sensitivity where you can feel the bite, even the smallest ones. Sometimes what fish will do is they'll just grab it and they'll just sit on it, like walleye do. That's why a person that fishes for walleyes and bass, it's a better bass fisherman because he knows that bite. You know, not a lot of. If you're only a bass fisherman, if you try catching walleye, you'll struggle because those walleye guys, they know, because that's what they do. They cast, they hop, and they wait, and they feel you'll see them. They'll cast, hop, and stop, and they'll just set the hook. How does he know that he has a bite? Because he has a very sensitive. Pretty much, walleye rods are one of the most sensitive rods that you can get, and they know they just use braid or whatever, like I said, expensive gear. And he knows once the fish bites and just sits there, he feels that little nip when the fish took the bait, and that's when he sets the hook. I hope this video, guys, helps you guys out, and I see it's going almost to 15 minutes, so I'm gonna cut it short. Again, just to summarize it, making a low-end combo perform like a high-end combo. It's the only thing that you have to do is downsize your line to where you're comfortable. I can use up as low as 10 pounds in my area, or for the most places that I fish. Even though if it's grass or whatever, 10 pounds is more than enough to get those fish out. And I just put a leader on, and it's done. I don't have to power cast to get distance. I can just flick my wrist, and that thing just flies out, because the thinner the diameter of the line is, the further you can cast with less effort. And if I want to do half a mile cast, yes, I can just flick it off and still will use less power to cast it than I would have used if I was using, let's say, 17 pound or 15 pound monoline or fluoro line. So give it a try, see how it works out for you guys, and let me know down below in the comment if you are already doing this. So that's it, guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one.